Hi everyone, this is a long overdue vlog. So today I'm just going to talk about what happened to our embryos. So this is kind of like the last little snippet, I guess you could say, of my IVF diaries for our third cycle. So I'm just going to go back and do a real quick overview of what happened for those who haven't watched my journey. So the third cycle we decided to do in secret, which was incredibly hard. I will not do that again. And we ended up kind of starting to overstimulate, which is what my body tends to do with IVF. I've been in hospital before with OHSS and it's not pretty, so they were trying to avoid that. And in trying to avoid that, my body levels just go a bit weird, my estradiol levels. So it looked like I was starting to overstimulate again. Thankfully we got to egg collection, and although my estradiol was going a bit crazy, we ended up only getting 4 eggs in comparison to IVF cycle 1 where we got 18 eggs collected. Those obviously weren't very great quality though, because although we got many, we only ended up with 2 blastocysts. One is Roman and one is our miscarriage. Yeah, so we only ended up with 4 and I was a little bit devastated, you know, but considering they kind of die off and you kind of want one for the freezer if you possibly can. So it just wasn't a great cycle at all. Yeah, so we got 4 and they are 3 of the 4 fertilized, and then they were dividing great, and by day 3 one embryo looked obviously more advanced than the others, and so they decided it's better in my body than out in a petri dish. So we put that one embryo back and I'm now currently 28 weeks pregnant, so that's wonderful. Hoping for one for the freezer. They kept carrying them on, and 2 days later the devastating news came that neither of those last 2 embryos survived. They stopped developing, which was really guttering, but there's nothing you can do, and we've been completely and utterly blessed having 2 children through over 3 cycles of IVF. So we are incredibly blessed and I couldn't ask for anything more. So even though we haven't got any in the freezer to use for future children, Martin and I are completely happy with our boy Roman, who is 2.5, and Mila, who is due very soon. So we you know, it could have been something really sad, you know, we could have been really sad about it, but we feel that we're happy with finishing our family now, and so it's no big deal to us anymore. If we really wanted more children, it would be a big deal, because then we'd have to pay for another round of IVF and go through it all again. But we've decided that we are happy to finish our family with Mila. So yeah, but basically what people want to know is what happened to those embryos and what are you going to do with them. So just like, I'm out of breath because Mila's kind of high up in my ribs today, in my lungs I should say, lungs, ribs. So what my clinic does is they give you the option of having your embryos that don't survive sent back to you, and we chose that option with the cycle with Roman as well, and we actually buried those embryos under an orange tree. Same deal again, we're going to do the exact same thing. These embryos are going to be buried under their own orange tree. Roman's orange tree with his embryos, his placenta is also going to get buried there, and then these embryos from the cycle of Mila, her placenta will also get buried with her cycle embryos. So my clinic sends it in this cute little, do they call it a kitty or something? It's a mouldy thing anyway. They've got a power shell and a little flax basket thing, and inside are our embryos. So these are the 2 embryos that didn't make it. Of course you cannot see anything because they are microscopic, but you know, the thought is there that you know that there's your little embryos that, you know, could have become babies, but obviously just we're not strong enough. Just, you know, not everything works out, and sometimes you just the embryos just don't develop, and these ones stop developing. So it's really special that we got to have them back. So they're all wrapped up in this, and we'll be putting this in a little plastic bag like we did with Roman's embryos and bury them under an orange tree, because our last name is Orange and these are our little oranges. So that's just our way of kind of putting them to rest. You know, that sounds kind of weird, but you know, like our memory. And we put them in a half wine barrel, so it means that whenever we shift they come with us, and it's just a little memory for us to show what we went through and that there were others there but they just didn't make it, basically. So that's really special for us anyway. So I thought I'd just quickly answer your questions on what happened to our embryos. Basically they stopped developing, couldn't use them, and here they are. So we will be burying them when Mila is born, and we also bury her placenta. So thanks guys for watching. If you've got any more questions about our embryos or anything I've talked about, please let me know. When I bury the placentas, I am using Birth to Earth. It is a placenta, a natural placenta burying kit, which is pretty cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and catch me in my next vlog, which will be my 28-week pregnancy vlog. Alright.